Hi, what I'm going to show you in this video today is how you can migrate from Tivoli Storage Productivity Center for Replication, TPCR in other words, to the new Copy Services Manager. So, in case you aren't aware, TPCR has been rebranded now to Copy Services Manager. It's now a standalone install, geared towards selling closer to the hardware and giving you an overall copy services solution. But with that, because it's a standalone install, it won't be an upgrade of your existing TPCR installation. You'll actually have to install Copy Services Manager to a new location. But we have provided an easy way for you to do that migration, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video. So to start with, you can see I have a TPCR running right now. I'm going to just validate. I'm going to log in. You can see I have a session, I have storage systems defined, there it is, and a session defined. In your shop you may have this thing running, active, moving and everything, that's fine. What we want is to be able to bring up Copy Services Manager with all of this configured already. So here's how you do it. So first, you would go in and log into the TPCR CLI. So CSM CLI, you find the root directory. In this case, it was installed in the default place of program files, IBM QPC, CLI, issue the CSM CLI command, log in. Under the TPCR CLI, there's a command called make backup. By issuing this command, it's going to create a zip file of the internal data store that can be then used as a to migrate over and generally install Copy Services Manager. So click the Make Backup, and this is going to create that zip file, and it's going to give you the location of that zip file. So there it is. If I go into the structure here, you'll see that I have under Program Files, IBM TPC, WLP, User, Servers, Replication Server Database. There is that backup folder where the backup is created, and there it is as it created just now. So hold that off, save that, and I'll show you what to do with that in a minute. So TPCR is up and running. You don't have to shut it down. Now, if you choose, you could install Copy Service Manager on a different server, brand new server, get up and running that way. That's fine. But we also have the option to install it on the existing server that TPCR is running. The only thing you should note that is if you do install it on the same TPCR server, you'll either have to shut down TPCR or define new ports during the installation. The reason for that is the default ports between the two products are still the same. We try to do that to minimize any impact in URLs and all that stuff that you put in the browser. But that's where we stand with that. So if you want to use the same server, you'll have to either shut down TPCR, which you can do through the services. So if you go into services, you can see the IBM TPCR service for WebSphere will be listed under services, and from there you can do the stop. It'll slow to come up because I was clicking off the install anywhere installer, but hopefully it'll show here in a second. There you are. Go down, and here's your IBM Tivoli Storage Productivity Center. The different servers under it, and there's the replication server. Right click, stop. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to go ahead and just define ports to show you what it's like. That's what you do. So the installer came up. It's an installer. We're using install anywhere, like the previous version. But you'll see that it's much faster, quicker, and geared towards only installing that copy services piece. So first panel is just a brief overview. And now the first thing goes first. So in order to enable it, you need a license file. If you choose to skip this panel, don't worry, you can if you don't have the license file. But it puts you into evaluation mode. So if you accept the license, it's actually an evaluation license. You'll need to, you won't be able to run this in production, and you'll need to eventually get the actual license key. You get the license key either through one of your ordering systems when you order the product. The license key, it looks like CSM license.zip. You download that to the server that you're going to install on, and then simply select it here. It's going to validate that, and then now you'll see it's not an evaluation license anymore. It's a full license. You can read through the terms, accept, next. And here's where I'm talking about the difference. So you can either do a full install, which is just going to bring it up brand new, or you can now click this Migrate or Restore option. So this is where taking that new file that we talked about before is going to come in. So that's this backup file we just did with that make backup command. We're going to go find it. So let's go here. Files, IBM, TPC. Under the replication server, under the database, and backup. Select that zip. Now, you'll notice that you can't click next until you validate it. You got to make sure it is an actual valid backup of the zip and not just a regular zip. So we do the valid. It's very quick. Valid backup. Click next. Now the next panel will ask you for your location. So we've already, if you've already installed it, it's going to be, and I'll have CSM there, so you can define something else if you're actually installing CSM in the same CSM server. But TBCR, we should be okay. It's a new directory. We shouldn't have to change the default. And click next. The next panel is where you ask for your basic admin user. So this is the first user you're going to use. You can default to CSM admin, but you're free to change that to whatever name you want and enter a password. Be sure to remember this password. This is the first password you're going to use, and the admin username you're going to use to log into CSM. And from there, you can add more users. You can set up LDAP. You can do all that kind of thing. Here's the port stuff I was talking about. So here on the server port configuration, all of these ports are already in use by TPCR. So you can do a netstat, or depending on what system you're using. Since this is a Windows system, I can use netstat, etc. But you can see what ports are in use, choose another set of ports, or if you click next, we will actually validate whether those ports are in use and tell you if they're invalid. But I'm going to go ahead and change those. Well, just to talk through them, the GUI port, that's the port you can use when you log into the browser. So instead of 9559, now it'll be 9659. The CLI port will need to be changed. The active standby, this is what we use in terms of communication port, is a new port that's used for LDAP communication now. So we have a new server that runs under where we install that manages the LDAP piece. We click next. Right now it's validated those ports. Things look good. This is the summary panel. It's going to tell you where it's going to be installed at, how much disk space, etc. We'll click install. And now it's going to simply install the runtime, Java runtime, install the code, and then start up CSM. So just to show you while that does that, it's very quick. But there's this long, complicated structure for the existing product. Now we're only be put into the CSM. So IBM CSM, program files, IBM CSM is where it's installing to under the library directory. It's unzipping that CSM.zip file. Now it's starting our copy service manager server. So right now we've created the servers. Everything is here. You can see now that under the Liberty WLP, now there's that CSM server. This is where it's been installed to, and it has that CSM server. And in it, we're going to update the actual database here. while this is all going on, you'll notice that I still have access to TPCR. It's still running. Everything. So in the event of a disaster, you're still doing this. You still have access to it. You'd be fine doing anything you need to. However, you should note that if you did have to do a recovery, whatever, you'll have to redo that backup for the CSM install. It's only going to be brought up to the point that the last when you issue that make backup. It's doing some install configuration changes now. And just to know, we do support still installation on Linux, AX. Actually, now we support Linux for Z systems and Power PC. So if you want to install on those, it's the same process. Basically, you log in, do the CLI, do the make backup, save off that zip file, and use it and install. Install anywhere. Process is all the same. The steps are all the same. It all works the same. And there we are. We're completed, successful, says done. You click the done button. It actually gives you the URL. So if you can see that, the URL does have that 9659 that we defined in there. So again, TPCR is still up and running. Now I'm going to go to a new tab. I'm going to specify 9659. We use the default certificate. So you can change the certificate if you wanted to, but the default one's used, so accept those. And voila, you see IBM Copy Services Manager now. So now this is the user that you added again on the install. So when you went through that one panel on the install, you need that username and password. This is what you're going to use now. If it was different than TPCR, then make sure that that's the one you use. They don't share the same one. Log in. There you see, we have storage systems. If I go to storage systems, there's that box I already had connected. We go to sessions, there's that same TPCR session already defined. If it was active, you'd see it active. We'd do all the rechecking, etc., that you would as if you shut down this TPCR server and brought it back up. Now it's in the Copy Services Manager. You can add users and all that stuff through the administration panel. But you're good to go. Now you have the same configuration you had under TPCR. Just a note there, now you do have actually 2 active servers. So what you want to do is, once you validated that the Copy Services Manager is up and running, you do want to shut down the TPCR server. Don't terminate any of the sessions because that's going to affect your actual hardware. You simply do an uninstall if you want, or can't do the uninstall, just shut down the service. And that's it. So hopefully that helped you see how to migrate from a TPCR instance undistributed to the new Copy Services Manager. Hope you enjoy the product.